I grew this faceless YouTube channel from zero to $20,000 in AdSense revenue. This didn't only happen once, it happened with multiple channels that I run, along with multiple client channels that we also scaled to over $3,000 or $4,000 a month in AdSense revenue. And I know how to grow these long form faceless YouTube channels because I've been doing it for over 4 years now. And in this video, I'm going to share the cheat codes for 2026 to go from zero to $3,000 a month with a YouTube automation channel. And honestly, I wish I knew this system sooner because it would have saved me a lot of time and money. And I would have avoided a lot of mistakes. Now, before we dive in, guys, I have a completely free course that I would like you to join. It's called the Faceless Tuber School, and it's a free 5-day challenge with over 5 hours of content and a step-by-step process how you can start your first YouTube automation channel. You can click the link in the description or in the first comment to join this completely for free. Here you also get one-on-one access to me to ask any questions you have. So to start off with number 1, you have to understand what outlier videos are. So if you have a channel with 10 videos and on average every video gets, let's say, 1,000 views, but then 2 videos get 10,000 or 20,000 views, these videos are outliers because they got 10 or 20 times the views from the actual videos on the channels. So if you find a relatively new channel that has a few outliers, then you can be, hey, maybe I can take one of these outliers and use them to make a full-on channel about. Or if you're already running a channel and you see outliers on other niches or other channels, you can flip these outliers to your own channel and to your own niche. And you can basically guarantee that your video will do well based on the thumbnail, the title, and the script of this video doing well, since it is an outlier and it outperformed all the other videos. So when you're researching for new video IDs or new niche IDs, you always want to be looking out for outliers on existing channels, whether that is just a random channel you found, a direct competitor, or an indirect competitor in the market and on YouTube. Now, there's multiple ways to find outlier videos or niches. So number 1 starts with getting the vidIQ extension in your browser. If you have this and you go to a channel, you can basically see the outlier score. You can see how many views a channel is getting and how well it's doing. So you first want to look at relatively new channels that are made in the last 3 to 6 months that have a lot of views compared to their subscribers, and especially have a few outliers that you can look at to then copy into your own style and niche. I'm saying copy here. I'm not saying one-on-one copy what is working for others. I'm saying find the outliers and then mimic it into your own niche and into your own brand. So never one-on-one copy like the whole thumbnail, title, and the niche, but understand why it works and then replicate it for yourself with other branding, with other color in another niche and with another title like format in place. Next up is a tool that is called nextlev.io. This is a niche scraper or an outlier scraper. It is a paid subscription, but is very good for beginners and even advanced people to find niches in. And basically you can just filter on keywords or just scroll through channels and find outliers on channels that are relatively new or old. And with this, you can very easily see the views and the revenue a channel is making every single month, how much videos on average get on the channel, and then what the outliers are on these channels. Now, the goal that you want to go after here is not just looking for one outlier and one channel. You want to keep an Excel sheet with niche research and then write down like 15, 20, 30 channels and outliers that you find, and then ideate how you can flip these outliers into a new channel or a new niche for you to start and launch. And lastly, one bonus tip on outliers that I have been doing the last 6 to 12 months and that is working very well. If you find these outliers, you can just go to ChatGPT, drop the images of the channel and of the outliers in ChatGPT, and then write a prompt where you ask it to ideate new channel IDs, niche IDs, or video IDs based on the outliers from these channels by using the format. So if you have a video of like very simple, like the top 10 or the top 10 most expensive vintage cars from 1960, then it will look at this outlier and it will, for example, replace car with houses or planes or something else that uses that same format, but for another niche, for example. And you can do this for different niches, for different topics, for different channels and videos. You can be very creative with it. But if you let ChatGPT ideate this, you can get a lot of new ideas very quickly based on the outliers that you find. Now, number 2 that you should focus on is keyword research. And this is a bit more outdated compared to outlier research and kind of was like the predecessor of outlier research. But with keyword research using vidIQ or Google Trends, you can still find trending topics and markets that you might want to test on YouTube and with YouTube automation. Now, I know that most of the videos and the channels that you launch will get views from browse and suggested and not so much from search. But if you see that there's market with keywords that have very high search volume and low competition, it still means that there's a lot of people looking at these videos and channels and looking for them. And maybe there's low competition, so this can be good markets to get into. The main tool to use this is VidaQ. If you go to the VidaQ website, you can put in keywords there that you found from competitor channels or online, or just from doing manual research. And then it shows you the monthly views and the competitor scores that these are getting. You can then go to YouTube and look for channels and topics and keywords around this and see if there's already channels doing well or not in this market. And based on that, decide if you want to get into a market or not. You can then also use these keywords to put them into Google Trends and see what trending keywords or related keywords are doing well and that are coming up. You can even filter on YouTube searches in Google Trends. So you can use the keywords from YouTube or VidaQ, put it in Google Trends and see if there's channels and markets that are into an upward trend. I would recommend you to stay away from markets that are in downward trend, because if there's a lot of channels and if search is going down, you probably will not be able to compete and get a lot of good views from these keywords. Now, number 3 and number 4 are probably the most important parts that you have to get good at going into 2026 if you want to be successful with YouTube automation. And number 3 is making good thumbnails and titles. If you have a very good idea, a very good outlier, and a very good topic or niche for your channel, but your thumbnails are not appealing and not clickable, and they don't match with your title, no one is going to click the video and no one is going to watch the video, and you will not make any money and get any views. So it is essential that you understand how good thumbnails and titles work, how you can make them, and how they work together. So in short, what you have to understand is that the thumbnail initially attracts attention from the viewer browsing YouTube. Then you want to make the thumbnail, like you want to put a question in there in the viewer's head, what this video is going to be about, and they have to read the title to find out what the video is about. And then in that title and thumbnail combination, you still want to make the viewer wanting to figure out what your video is going to be about and make them curious enough to click. Now, this is very simplified, of course, and there goes a lot of psychology into this, but this is what it comes down to in simple terms. What you should know for now is how to make a clickable thumbnail and write good titles. Now, for the titles, you can just look up title formats from winning competitors and fill in the blanks for these formats. You can also go to this newsletter Creator Hooks and find out, they every week break down how titles and thumbnails in combination performed and the scores they got and why they performed well. There's a really good free tool that you can get started with to understand thumbnails and titles better. And then for thumbnails, I would really recommend you to first of all just do a lot of research, look at a lot of channels and see what you're liking and not liking, and like if you would click something yourself. But then second, I would recommend you to get the 1 of 10 tool. This is an AI tool where you can basically put in a keyword and then it shows you the thumbnails and titles from winning videos and the outliers again. And if you do this research, just like in step 1 with the outlier research, it shows you which thumbnails and titles perform very well. So you know how, if you make a new channel, how your thumbnail should look color-wise, font-wise, like the image in the thumbnail-wise, and everything around it. So you don't want to try to reinvent the wheel and just start making something that you think looks pretty. You want to look at what worked in the past, what is working now, what is working for competitors, and make your designs based off of what is working. Again, don't one-on-one copy the thumbnails and the titles, but use good and winning outliers as inspiration to make something new yourself. Now, point number 4 is writing good intros for your videos. So you have the outlier, you have a thumbnail and a title that people want to click. Now, the next most important part is keeping people stay to watch the video for as long as possible. And the most important part of your video is going to be the intro script that you're going to be writing. So a good intro can really make or break your video success and the retention. So if you start your video and you talk about something completely different than you showed in your thumbnail and title, people will get confused and stop watching your video. So first of all, you always have to verify in your intro what is shown in the thumbnail and in the title. So you need to have a good hook, and then after that, you usually want to promise what the viewer is going to get from watching your video. So you're promising the value that the viewers are going to get in the video after you re-verified that they're watching the right video. And then lastly, what is always important is to give them stakes. So what will they get from that promise if they stay and watch the video till the end? And if you do this, you basically say, hey, in this video, you can learn this. And if you stay until the end, I will also tell you how to actually implement this, or how to get this thing that I just taught you to be working, basically. And that usually helps with making people stay longer in the video. Now, again, there's a lot of different sort of videos and a lot of different formats for your introductions. And again, this goes back to, if you are in a specific niche, you have to do your competitor research. You need to do the outlier research. And based on the outliers, you can break down the scripts from your competitors, how they are doing it and why it is working well. So one quick tip on how to do this: if you're watching a competitor video and you go to the description, you can open up the transcript and then you can copy the whole transcript. So if you take the intro from this video transcript and put it in ChatGPT, and then you ask it, can you please break down this introduction into sort of like a format and a repeatable system that I can then replicate for my own videos? If you do this for your 10 best videos in the market, or competitor videos in the market, you will have one strong intro framework that you can use for all your videos on the channel that you're going to be building. And this again will increase your chances of success. It will build on what has been working for others and what others has been testing, and then you can build further on that success without having to start over yourself and go through the trial and error. Now, number 5 is scripting, recording, editing, and making thumbnails, and then scheduling and uploading videos for your channel. So the biggest mistake a lot of people make is wanting to cut cost on everything and do everything themselves. But writing scripts, doing voiceovers, editing videos, and graphic design for thumbnails, these are 4 like whole different skills you have to learn. And doing all of this yourself can be very overwhelming when you're starting YouTube automation. And that is one of the unfortunate things about this business model. You do need different skill sets for these different jobs, and you have to learn all of them to get good at YouTube. So there's quite some things that you have to understand and learn before starting. But the biggest mistake that people make is trying to do all of these themselves, and especially the video editing. So for example, me, I'm not a video editor. When I started YouTube, I had a very like slow and bad laptop, and even trying to edit a video myself, like I didn't know how that would work, but also my laptop was not strong enough to like render it and to download all the images that or videos I needed and then export it. So what I would recommend you doing is writing scripts yourself and with the help of AI. You making voiceovers with AI too. So, and then also finding the topics and outliers with AI or with these tools I mentioned at the start. And once you have these 3 things, all you need basically is the video and the thumbnail. Now, thumbnails you can start with yourself too if it's not too complex. But the video editing takes the most time and is the hardest to learn and hardest to do. And if you do this, you need to download so much image and footage and stock material and then put it together and export it. This will cost you hours per video. The other things you can do in like 30 to 60 minutes once you have a channel up. So I recommend you to go to either Upwork or onlinejobs.ph and hire a video editor for your channels. If you make 12-minute videos, these can range from like $20 to $30 at like a starting price. So get one and make this person help you editing videos so you can upload and test a lot of niches and channels quickly. This is essential with YouTube automation. It's not about getting the perfect niche the first try and finding that winning formula. It's about testing and repeating and just doing and taking action. The YouTube algorithm works in strange ways sometimes, and however much research you do, you never know what is going to work until you test it and launch your channel and launch your videos. So just get an editor and start uploading videos so you can get views, impressions, views, and results for your channel. And do not get stuck in that like research analysis paralysis stage where it just takes way too long to make one video yourself. This is a business, you will have to take some risk, and I do advise you to invest in a video editor, especially in this year with new inauthentic content rules, where YouTube doesn't monetize like fully made mass-produced AI channels anymore, which for the last year everyone has been doing. So if you get an editor and make a good video edit, you set yourself apart from the competition, you produce more videos quicker, and you are safe from these inauthentic content guidelines. So these are the 5 tips that I would give myself when I would start YouTube automation in 2026. I hope they're helpful. If you have any questions about them, drop them in the comments, and make sure to like and subscribe if you like this video and want more tips and tricks on YouTube automation. And if you're looking for a more step-by-step plan on how to start YouTube automation, I recommend you to watch this video, because here I break down the exact 5M system that I've been using for 3 years and hundreds of my clients use to make $3,000 a month YouTube automation channels.